Welcome back. Before we take a look at the day's business news, let's take a look at the stock indices across the GCC. And in our top business story, Dubai developer Nakheel has confirmed that has given instructions for the repayment of 2.35 billion dirhams of bank debt, more than a year and a half ahead of schedule. As announced in January this year, the early repayment, which is part of 6.8 billion dirhams due to be repaid to banks in September 2015, reflects the strong financial performance of the company post-restructuring, the underlying strength of the growing local real estate market, and significantly improved economic conditions in the UAE. Since restructuring in 2011, Nakheel has recommenced work on all 10 of its near-term projects, delivered around 8,000 units across various Nakheel communities, and paid around 13 billion dirhams to contractors and suppliers. Additionally, the company, according to a statement, has paid around 1 billion dirhams in interest to banks and made profit payments of around 1 billion dirhams to Sukuk holders. Nakheel currently has more than 4,000 units in the development pipeline, with an estimated current sale value of 13 billion dirhams, with the first handovers of completed units due this year. Toyota has announced a 10% growth in sales in the Middle East during 2013, selling 691,631 units. Sales in the GCC grew by 7% to reach 633,037 units compared to the previous year, while sales in the Levant and Iraq increased by 72% to reach 45,289 units, according to a company statement. It was also a record year for the Camry, with Toyota reaching the milestone of 1 million Camrys sold in the GCC and Yemen since being first introduced in 1992. Last month, Al Futtaim Motors, the exclusive distributor of Toyota in the UAE, said it had signed a contract with Dubai Taxi Corporation for 1,638 new vehicles. Under the agreement, the car dealer will supply hundreds of new Toyota Camry and Innova vehicles to DTC. Emirates Airlines has announced that it is to launch a daily service to Chicago's O'Hara International Airport in August. The service will be operated by a Boeing 777-200LR, with the first flight touching down on August the 5th, according to a statement from the airline. Chicago will become the airline's 9th gateway in the U.S., following soon after the commencement of its services to Boston, Massachusetts on March the 10th. Chicago is the third largest city by population and GDP in the United States, with a population of 2.7 million. Chicago is also a significant convention hub and home to many of the US's largest companies, including Boeing, which is a very important supplier partner of Emirates. The wider Chicago area is home to 160 company headquarters, 30 Fortune 500 company headquarters, 12 Fortune Global 500 and 10 Financial Times Global 500 companies. In addition to carrying passengers, the aircraft will also carry up to 17 tons of cargo to further increase the trade opportunities between Dubai and Chicago. Emirates already operates a twice-weekly dedicated freighter service to Chicago, which in 2013 carried nearly 7,400 tons of cargo from the city and over 4,200 into the city. From next month, lenders will be able to check that applicants are not already in too much debt and have kept up payments on previous loans. Potential borrowers can also buy a copy of their own credit report to ensure that the information held by the new Al Ittihad Credit Bureau is accurate. In the next few weeks, as the Bureau starts work, bank customers will also be advised about the importance of maintaining a good credit history. Hundreds of bank staff have been trained by the Bureau to understand how the new system works and to explain to customers the value of a clean credit score. The reports will cover only people's credit history in the UAE, and there will be no information about debt incurred abroad. The Bureau is intended to provide more stability to the financial system by giving banks more information about the creditworthiness of consumers and companies they are considering lending to. Commercial credit reports will be made available during the second phase of operations later in the year. The final stage in the scheme will be credit scoring, the system used in most other countries with a credit bureau to determine a potential borrower's level of creditworthiness. Credit scoring will be introduced at the end of next year.